Welcome to the 5G podcast.
We're glad you're here.
We hope you enjoy our conversation about God, guns, games, goals, and gastronomy.
Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's episode. Is that loud enough with our normal voices?
I think it'll be fine.
Oh, yeah? Because we can just...
Yeah, Ryan can increase the volume in the post-production.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I think we're bueno.
It's been a month,
It's been a whole month.
basically, I think. 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I think so. Let's see. I have it right here. Our last one
December
was on
11th.
December 13th.
13th. Saturday the 13th.
Today is the 11th, so almost a whole month.
A whole month.
So that's been fun.
Yeah. We can probably... It's been a whole month. I bet we could just jump into it.
Probably.
Maybe, but...
I mean, let's just, I got like a bunch of things that we could talk about on here. Let's just jump into how was your Christmas and New Year's and everything.
5G podcast took a break. As you can see.
Not planned, but
No.
it just kind of like, you were busy one Saturday, I was busy one Saturday, you were busy another Saturday, I was busy another Saturday. Like, it all just kind of like.
How it works. I got a house, so that kept me busy for a little bit.
Yeah.
New locale of the 5G podcast once again, thanks to your subscribership.
All 32 of you, 31,
31,
something like that.
Yeah, we're very appreciative, but no, this didn't buy a house yet.
I wish that'd be
But
crazy.
it will. We'll have the 5G podcast studio.
Yeah, exactly.
At some point.
Yeah, and it was probably one of the easiest moves ever.
Yeah.
Across
Across the street.
the street.
Yep.
A whole 60 feet.
Not complaining about that. Easiest move of my life. So.
And your wife put all the sticky notes and tape all over everything so that people moving it said, this says living room side corner or whatever.
Right.
And then I take this to the corner that says side corner.
Gray couch, living room. Like, if that wasn't obvious, but then every little thing of like mirror, front room, and then in the front room here, she had it taped. So it was nice. We had about a week to like prep. It was just across the street, so moved all the little things. Just needed help for the big things.
Yeah.
So now we're in.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
We're like mostly out of boxes. You can see in the front room. And the dining room were functional. The master bedroom is like functional, and then hidden behind everywhere else is boxes. But like the house is in a livable state, but it's like you don't need decorations. Those come out of the boxes last, so it's like
for sure. It's very exciting for you.
We're supposed to like on a couple of these date nights. We've tried to like let's like unpack or whatever, and then we end up just like watching a movie or chilling on the couch and just like going to sleep. Like we're too tired.
That's what last night we did our little date night, and we made dinner and then sat and watched a movie, and then we made some homemade ice cream and but I was in bed by like 8:45. I was just so tired.
I texted you at like 9 and you didn't reply, so
I was pretty much zonked out when you texted me.
Yeah, that's funny.
I was sitting there and I was like, Ryan asked me, she was like, "Hey, are you going to bed right now?" It's like, "Oh, I'm probably just gonna like, lie there and watch like TikTok or scroll Reddit or whatever for a bit." And then like, I like was falling asleep while watching TikTok videos, and I like just yelled to her, I was like, "Ryan, I'm dying.
I'm fading fast."
And she goes, "Oh, okay." So she came and like, I was out. I was pretty tired.
Anytime I do that, like I'm just gonna go lay down. My wife doesn't believe me. She's like, "Nah, you're gonna fall asleep in like 5 minutes." Like, I know you. It's like, no, I'm just gonna relax before bed. I'm out.
Yeah, I have tried to institute a no lying on the bed rule for me unless I'm getting ready for bed.
You're sleeping.
Because
I gotcha,
like if I just like, I'm like, waiting for Ryan to get ready for, or
just relaxing after work,
just chilling after work, like, lie on the bed and look at Instagram or whatever. I'm out in like 7 minutes max.
Man,
like max. That is like,
yeah, that's usually how it goes. The one time I'm like I can't fall asleep easily, and I've tried to like make this a rule of myself, but I forget sometimes. Is if right before bed, if I'm like not doing something to wind me down. I think I've mentioned if I'm playing like a strategy game, then I'm laying in bed just like thinking strategy. I'm like, oh, but what about this and that? But I can't do it because I'm not playing the game. I'm trying to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, but this, it just like keeps my brain awake.
Ryan and I have a very similar problem. But Ryan and I, every night we play the New York Times like games.
Oh, okay.
Right. Yeah. So like the Wordle, the crossword puzzle, things like that. So we'll do that for, 10 minutes before bed.
It's a good wind down.
And so like my brain has to like think, like, because those are like mental activities, but they're very like, once you complete it, it's like you can't think about the Wordle after you finish the Wordle.
What was the word yesterday?
I was asleep yesterday, which he did. I don't know. That's funny. We do them right, like we're in bed right before going to sleep, and we do them together. But I was out last night when she did them. I have no clue what the word was yesterday.
Right. Point proven, yeah.
But so yeah, like the winding down thing is. But yeah, when it's like, oh, I'm just coming home from work. I'm just gonna like light it off. I don't have anything until 4:00 or whatever.
That's a trap.
Yep. It's like, oh, I got 15 minutes. I can just chill. It's like, oh, no, do something or you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
Do something or you die.
Yeah, that's we jokingly call it momentum. Anytime we're like doing things around the house, and then you're like, okay, I accomplished this one task, and then you sit down on the couch and pull out the phone. You're like, no, momentum. I got to keep going.
The black hole of the phone.
Yeah, I did a decent amount yesterday because it's like I had to build a shelving unit and I had to clean up around here, and I was drilling some hooks in to hang up some decorations.
Yeah,
momentum.
You get home from work fairly early on Fridays.
Half days. So.
Yeah, same with still 8-hour day, but we start so early that I get home at 1:30. Right?
Yeah. I'm usually home by 1 on Fridays.
Yeah. So on Fridays, I usually try to get more done. Yesterday was also a very successful day.
Yeah, nice. Momentum.
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Well, how was your Christmas?
Christmas was good.
Busy with family and all that?
Oh yeah, plenty busy. Which was fine because there was not much going on at work. It's the classic corporate takes 2 weeks off.
Sure.
And you're just there for emergencies, in my job at least.
Yeah.
So
I'm surprised you went in that much.
Yeah, it was a lot of half days. There's nothing going on here. I'm head back home and help with the move. So
yeah, for sure.
Help pack or whatever. So Christmas was nice, pretty busy with family, but I enjoyed it. Got to see everyone in-laws.
Did you guys have your own Christmas here and then go over to your families, or did you just do Christmas at both of you?
Yeah, we did. Lena and I do like a little gift exchange. We did that Christmas morning at the old house.
Sure.
Actually. And then
this wasn't the gift exchange. The house wasn't the.
Well, we definitely put a strict budget on like gifts to each other this year.
Sure.
Just enough, so it's like fun to open something on Christmas Day. And then her family we did like 2 days before Christmas, just because sister-in-law's a nurse, so that's how scheduling works. She had to work over Christmas Eve and Christmas, and then we did that. And my family we did Christmas morning, and then extended family on her side we did the day after Christmas. Pretty good. Nice. Giant taco bar for her. Ooh, Mexican heritage.
Very nice.
Mexican Christmas.
Very nice.
They're like a quarter Mexican, but any excuse for tacos.
Hey, it works.
Yeah, Christmas tacos. It's pretty good.
Very nice.
What about you?
Christmas, it was all Christmas Day for us.
Oh, yeah.
So my mom's birthday is on Christmas Eve, and so that's never Christmas Eve. It's just my mom's birthday, right? But yeah, Christmas Day, woke up. I mean, I just naturally wake up early, right?
Yeah,
so Ryan slept in for a bit, but we had to be over to my in-laws' house by like 8 or something like that for gifts over there. We did our own. So this year we bought a new bed for ourselves, a new mattress for ourselves instead of like gifts, because that's like $1,300, $1,400, right? Whatever it was. Yeah. I think it was right around $1,400 all said and done.
That's adult Christmases. Like, we bought a mattress.
Well, so we upgraded from a queen to a king.
Yeah. So
that's nice. And let me tell you, man, I was always like, I'm sleeping fine, right? I don't know if I've ever gotten a better night's rest than like the first night on that king mattress. All right. I was like, oh, this is beautiful.
I didn't know a couple extra inches could make all the difference.
That's what my wife tells me, but I don't know.
but king bed.
I mean, it's like a solid like foot.
It's like a foot, really.
It's like a foot or
like 6 inches.
no. So I think it's the same, or like
It's the
I think it's 6
same?
inches longer,
Oh, okay.
but I think it's almost a foot or a foot and a half wider.
Jeez, yeah,
Someone will fact check us. Ryan will fact check us.
probably.
But
Well, because I know the king is 2 twins,
Mhm.
and then a queen is just large and obnoxious, but not as big as 2 twins.
I learned this. A California king is actually short. Is actually narrower
but
longer.
Yeah,
And I was like,
for
well,
tall people.
and so Ryan and I, we were trying to decide like, oh, king or California king, and I was like, oh, California king might as well, right? And
Yeah.
she's like, well, it's not as wide, and I go, huh?
Yeah,
Like what? I did not know this.
that's the trade-off.
And I'm not like a tall person. I'm 5'11".
So you don't really.
I mean, I
need
guess
it.
that's taller than average, but like compared to like most of the people I hang out with,
My dad is 6'4".
yeah.
He likes the California king.
Yeah.
That's what he loves that.
Yeah. But like for me, it's like the queen was like I could touch the end with my toes
Yeah, but it
And, like,
bother you.
if I like scooted down like 2 inches, my feet would hang off, you know.
Mhm.
But like with the king, it's like I'm fine.
I can't even tell.
No. So, and then we did stockings was our other thing that we did for each other, right?
Oh, yeah.
Where this was our first year doing it because this is like the first Christmas we've been in our own place where we weren't traveling to see family.
Oh, sure.
Right.
You were just chilling.
Yeah, which was very nice.
That's cool.
It's very nice. But yeah, then we went over to my in-laws' house, did stuff there. Went over to my parents' house, did stuff there. Went back over to my in-laws' house, did stuff there again,
Second dinner.
and then went back over to my cousin's house to have like my family's dinner.
Nice.
It was just the whole day. I don't know,
All day.
like yeah, but it was fun.
That's cool.
It was good. It was good. You what is your top gift that you received?
Oh man, the socks have been phenomenal this week. The new socks. No, I mean I did get some socks which are comfy, but like durable still. And then I got some big towels, like extra long.
Oh yeah.
That is a luxury, first world comfort. I didn't know I needed
for sure.
But as a big guy, I like having the big towel. It's just it's cool.
Ryan, when we moved down here, Ryan got those for us because we had the normal towels, and like my fat ass was like like sucking in to tie the towel around my waist.
It fits perfectly.
And now these ones, I got like, I feel like I'm putting on like a robe.
Totally.
It's so nice.
Just creature comfort.
Yeah,
I like having the giant towel, so that's been fun. I liked giving. My wife's been getting a little bit more into Magic as we just play casually. She's like, I'll never like play like high stress or intensity, but she likes playing casually a little bit. So I got her a play mat with some custom art of like her favorite character from Baldur's Gate.
nice.
And then just this past week, it was a delayed Christmas gift. I made her a commander deck with that character from the D&D Baldur's Gate Magic crossover set.
Yeah.
So that was a cool gift. I enjoyed getting a custom play mat
Sure.
to her. But yeah, honestly, as far as what I got a house. That was the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Random fun story at my extended family. We did a white elephant, and Lena and I brought some pretty awesome gifts. One of them was a remote control car, and then the other one were like 2 lightsabers because we were just trying to get rid of toys at our old house. Had too many toys, and our family's white elephant has been like, what's the word? Like codified, because it's like to like take all of the fun, all the randomness out of it, because there's been too many gag gifts at the white elephant. So they've like had this strict set of rules. They're like $15 gift card is what you get, and then maybe you throw something else on there, but that's not even a requirement. It's like $15 gift card. And so like we had $15 gift cards plus just random toys. So it ended up being, in comparison, pretty awesome. And the first time playing with some young cousins, we're like 5 or 6.
No.
Don't really understand the rules of a white elephant. The boy goes to open the remote control car. Is my little nephew. I said cousins. I forget I'm an uncle. So my 5-year-old nephew was like, "Oh, remote control car." He thinks it's his toy, like, because it's the day after Christmas. He's like, "This is for me."
From him.
And then like the next was like his cousin, another little nephew, And he's like, I'm taking that. I think he was like 1 year older. He understood the rules a little bit better. He's like, yep, that's mine. And then the first boy is just bawling his eyes out, just like, no, but that's my car. And so like Lena and I were like, oh no, what have we done? We made the gifts too good. So we tried to tell him like, no, you got to open this one. We tried to give him our other one that was lightsabers. And he was like, oh yeah, lightsabers. And then the boy like drops his car. The second boy drops the car. He's like, I'll take the lightsabers too. You're like, that's not how that works. I guess the first boy wanted the remote control car, so that works. Sure, we'll allow it. And then everyone was like, don't steal those gifts anymore. They're done. That's it.
Out of bounds.
Sorry, we're bending the rules for the toddlers.
That's funny.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah. I think my favorite part of Christmas, and I'm horrible at it, but I like giving gifts more than like receiving gifts most of the time. Because like when you receive a gift, it's like I just don't know how to react, right?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, this is cool. Thanks. Yeah. It's like, thanks. I didn't know I needed this, but I guess like,
that's perfect.
You know,
yeah. Ooh.
But like giving gifts is like, I enjoy that more. I think just my family, the siblings, because 3 of us are married now. So it's like, if you were to get a gift for everyone, it's like you're buying like 8 gifts.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a little pricey.
And so 7 gifts plus
spouses,
gifts for parents. Right. And stuff like that. So what we've started doing is a rotation, right? Where it's like me and my wife have, you know, my sister. And my sister has Aaron and his wife, and Aaron has Susan and whatnot, right? So it's kind of like rotates like that.
That's fun.
But I had my brother this year. Well, Ryan and I had Bridget and Aaron, and I was like, I don't know what to get them. Like, they're in law school in Texas. I don't want to get them like a big thing that they have to like haul back to Texas and like, you know. So like, what do I get them? Or what do we get them? And Ryan was like, I don't know. So we decided just like split it up. So Ryan would get her a gift.
Okay.
And then I would get Aaron a gift.
Easier. Yeah. Sometimes.
Just because like, so Ryan got her like jewelry and like this book or whatever. And then I got Aaron a new trigger for his AR.
Oh yeah.
A really nice like 3-pound like single stage like trigger.
Okay.
It was very fun to give. And then, you know, a couple days later I helped him learn how to install it and stuff like that. So
nice.
It was a good time.
That is good.
But we just took our Christmas lights, speaking of being proactive or productive on Fridays. We just took down our Christmas lights on our house yesterday.
That's funny. Yeah.
Ryan was like, it's time. And I was like, yes, it is.
2 weeks into January.
Yeah. 2 Saturdays into January. And
yeah.
And
the first Saturday you get a pass because, you know.
Yeah. I don't feel like we were like too late. We're definitely the last ones in our neighborhood.
You wouldn't be the last ones in this neighborhood. There's still, I saw a giant inflatable Santa was still up down the road. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I'm not, but like, you know, and our lights weren't like gaudy and like, you know, all over the place. It was just like a couple strands here and there. So anyway.
Yeah. New Year's in was fine.
Steven has a story time for New Year's.
Okay.
I forgot about this actually. I don't even think I told you or any of our buddies. So we went over to my in-laws' house for a little while, stayed over there for a bit, and then around 8 or 8:30 or so, we went over to my parents' house because my dad goes and gets the illegal fireworks to launch up into the air, and you know,
naturally.
So we had
everyone's got one in their family.
Yep. Well, apparently this year the police were out in force.
Oh, dang!
And police came knocking on my dad's door.
What?
And we were in the backyard, and so they were at the front door. We lit off one of the big ones that goes up in the air, and they're like, "Seriously?" My dad has the video on his Ring camera. Like it's like they're like seriously, just like what?
Oh my God.
And so they like shine their light into the backyard, and we're like, "Hello," and they're like, "Hi, it's the police," and we're like, "Oh." So he goes out and talks to them, and they're super nice, you know, like they're just like, "We don't want to be doing this, but like it is illegal." So my dad was like, and we were taking kind of bets in the backyard, like, oh, is he going to get just like a warning, or like, are they going to confiscate him, or like, you know, what's the deal? And my brother was like, nah, they'll just write him a warning, like a written warning, and he'll be good to go.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back and he goes, well, this was an expensive New Year's Eve.
Oh,
It was $1,000 fine
what?
and a court date.
No way.
He has to go to court and present his case in front of the judge in February.
Why?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, seriously. It's $1,000 fine. And I was like, dude, that sucks.
Yeah.
That was our New Year's Eve. And then, we came home, and I don't know. I don't remember if I stayed up. We made it to midnight, Ryan and I, but just barely.
Yeah.
Because I get tired at like 9.
Sure, yeah. I had a couple extra sodas that day.
Yeah, and I had a soda as well, so that I could stay awake a little bit longer. But we made it to midnight. I think we were getting ready for bed at midnight.
Yeah.
So made it to midnight, and just super chill. And New Year's Day was
Just
I don't
relax.
know. I don't know what if we did anything New Year's Day. I think I might have just played Satisfactory all day.
Right? Just like, day off of work, I'll hang out. And
Yeah.
that is wild. I didn't know, like, yeah, aerials are illegal in Arizona, but, like, you can't catch everyone, right?
They were trying on New Year's.
Because
They pulled, these guys, it was all City of Mesa guys, right? But we got apparently all of the police on the force were called in.
Really?
And apparently
All shifts.
the guys who came to our house were undercover cops.
Really?
Yeah. So they were in plain clothes with their tack vests on or whatever, and they were driving just like F-150s.
Yeah.
Like no lights, like a blue F-150 or whatever.
Wow.
And like they had plain clothes on, they didn't have like the uniform on or whatever,
Yeah.
and like I was like,
Huh.
so
Like, we really don't want to be doing this because
they literally said like we would rather be catching bad guys.
yeah, like this is not what we do. Write tickets. They probably haven't done that in 10 years.
Yeah. So
That's crazy. I just always assume like, okay, there's so many aerials going off. There's no way they can catch everyone because
yeah.
I might have been to a show with some aerials and we didn't get caught. So I won't say who or where, and just in case the police use this as evidence in the court date.
Well, I'm surprised they like went into a gated neighborhood to catch someone as well. Because
Yeah,
they're in my parents' backyard.
It is fascinating. Like you're following all the other rules, and then also, yeah, they had to get into a private neighborhood. I mean, obviously they had logical like cause.
Yeah, like
for entry.
And my dad, they go, "Were you launching fireworks?" And my dad goes, "That could be the truth."
It's a possibility. Could be the neighbors behind us.
Well, but like they were like, "What size were they?" I was like, "They're like, I don't know, 2 inches." They're like, "Oh, you got the tiny ones," and we're like, "Tiny ones?
What?
These launch like 100 feet in the air, dude!" Like,
so funny. Just the tiny ones. All right then.
But apparently, there's people who buy 8-inch ones, like
That's
across
the
right?
literal mortar shell.
Yeah, for real.
It's insane.
Craziness.
I think we only. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, solid 8 inches. You know.
And also, we didn't get caught, so I think we only had 1 inchers.
Well, we only did like 2 or 3 of them before we got caught.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty fun.
yeah, I was
It's New Year's. Come on.
I was disappointed by it, to say the least.
Yeah, it is rough. $1,000 fine.
Feels bad for my dad.
Present your case. Well, you see, it was New Year's.
Well, so apparently, though,
Can you?
the judge will let you. Some judges, if you say like, "Hey, like
I didn't know.
I was like, no, like if you admit it and you're like, yeah, I was lighting fireworks off, but I'd really like to, instead of paying the fine to the government, I'd like to like donate it to like the burn victim center or something like that,
Okay, cool.
or like the fire department, whatever, right? Where it's like you don't make a donation
That's
instead.
fascinating. Yeah.
So my dad's going to try and do that because then it's also a tax deduction as well.
Exactly.
Because it's so.
And that's probably a better cause than just
Oh, for sure, 100%,
paying the city.
100%. I'd rather 100,000% pay it towards a charity.
Probably pick any charity, and I'd probably rank it above even my local government.
Oh, for sure, 100. Well,
See, generally, I would prefer my local government over the federal government. I think any charity is above the federal government.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah.
Local government, they're low, but they're probably above some.
Yeah. They're probably above the Red Cross for me.
Yeah. Oh. I'm going to hide my shirt.
Is that a Red Cross shirt?
Yeah, I did a blood drive.
Oh.
And that's all.
I'm not saying they are horrible, but like just like the amount of waste that they have, just like any like hospital,
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
It's like you spent 95% of the money on like administrative salaries. Like,
Yeah. I'm not a fan of them. I usually do blood drives with the other ones. I forget, they changed names or merged or something with somebody else. But
I refuse to do blood drives.
are you a Jehovah's Witness?
No, I'm scared of needles.
Oh, okay. I knew this. Yeah.
I don't like needles.
I'm O positive, so I feel like some sense of obligation, some contract.
Yeah,
like,
you have the best one.
very common blood. They really need it. So it's like 50% of people are O positive, something like that. So, and I like doing blood drives. They're pretty fun, pretty quick. Like I said, normally with the other ones, but Red Cross like messaged me because they knew I had one. So I was like, all right. And then they gave me a T-shirt or a long sleeve sweater thing. So
yeah,
all right,
that's nice enough.
Nice.
Yeah, I have nothing wrong with blood drives. I think they're fantastic and useful, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't. The one time I did a blood drive in high school, senior year.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you passed out, yeah.
No, I didn't pass out. It was I almost passed out, but it was a plasma donation one instead of like just blood, right?
Okay.
So they like shoot the saline solution back in you, right, or whatever, and the stupid person that did it like
stuck the needle wrong,
went through my vein instead of into my vein, and so like I just had this bubble of salt water in my arm, and they're like, everyone was like freaking out, and I'm like, yeah, it freaking hurts, like.
Yep.
My skin is being separated from my body by saline solution. Like, I'd really like this to not happen. So they like took it out and they're like, it should go down in a couple hours. I'm like, couple hours? So yeah, never happened.
Your first experience.
That was my first time doing a blood drive.
Yeah, I feel like you should have just gone with the whole blood one. That's the one that they friggin' let the interns do. It's like all I gotta do is stick the needle in and then you're done. Like blood just comes out. So.
Yeah, well, and another problem is I have really deep veins.
Yeah,
and so even for like doctor's appointments when they go draw blood, like they have to stick me a bunch. So I've always actually started to have them just do like the baby needles, but in my hand.
Okay, yeah,
and that is like so much better for me. And like I don't have to get stuck 3 times.
I always have to tell them as well. They're like, "What arm do you prefer?" I'm like, "Well, I prefer the left arm. You guys will only be able to find this one on the side, so just look there first." On my right arm. No.
Yeah.
You're welcome to look on the left arm. You're not going to find it.
We had I had 2 experiences. One, I was going to go work at Phoenix Children's Hospital, and they were doing this blood test, and it's the worst experience, man. This phlebotomist chick, she comes in, she's like, "Oh, I think I can get this one," sticks the needle in me, and like doesn't hit the vein. And she's like, "Oh, well, there's this one next to it." So pulls the needle out, sticks me again.
No,
and I'm like, and doesn't get it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, like
get the doctor over here. I'm done.
No. But this is the thing. I was like, I told her at the beginning, I'm like, you're probably gonna have to use a baby needle in my hand. That's how everyone has done it in the past, 6 times I've gotten my blood drawn. Right? She's like, oh, okay, well, we'll see first. And I go,
try.
Whatever. And then she's like, okay, well, let me look at your other arm. So she looks at my other arm. She's like, oh, I can get this one. Sticks me. Same exact thing happens. So I get stuck 4 times.
Oh, my goodness.
And she's like, I'm going to have to get the lead phlebotomist in here. So she gets the head nurse or whatever they're called in. And the nurse is like, yeah, those are really deep. And I go, well, I did say this originally, but you can stick my hand with a baby needle. She goes, oh, well, we'll just do that. And I go, so I got stuck 5 times for this stupid blood draw. And I was just like,
wow. Fascinating.
Yeah. And then same thing happened when I was getting my life insurance. She only stuck me once and then believed me.
Oh, good. Okay. So you only got stuck twice that day?
I only stuck twice that day. Oh, and for someone who really, really hates needles, that's just like the best thing ever, getting stuck so much,
Just, okay, look away. If you okay, just keep looking away.
I mean, I don't like freak out, right?
Yeah.
I just I don't enjoy the experience.
Needle into your body.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. I was walking to this blood drive, and it's just it was at a library around town, the Red Mountain one, and I was just casually okay, yeah, just walking in, and then I see Jehovah's Witnesses out front, and I totally dissociate the fact that I'm going to a blood drive. I was like, oh, some Jehovah's Witness. Like, oh, that might be fun. Actually, I could go talk to them. I was like, wait, I'm going into a blood drive. This is probably the one time they don't want to talk to me because they're going to try to talk me out of the blood drive. Like any other time, I'm sure it'd be fine. It's like, I don't know why. I just felt like, oh, like I'm not doing anything. Like I could, just go have a nice friendly chat with them. That'd be cool. Like, they know there's a blood drive. That's why they're sitting out there today. It's like, oh yeah, okay.
That's very funny. I have not ever had like a huge experience with
the J-Dubs,
the J-Dubs,
the Tejotas.
Well, should we switch gears into some actual like 5G stuff?
Actual some culture.
I wanted to ask you what your opinions on the very brand new game that we got, Mines of Moria.
Mines of Moria. So I think it was 2024.
It was.
Yeah.
Beginning of 2024, I think.
Yeah, early last year.
Yeah.
Mines of Moria.
We've been playing it this was our second 3 hours so far, 4 hours,
probably
4 hours, 3 or 4 hours.
Our second session.
Yeah, and I think we got to the main. We're past the tutorial levels, basically.
Yeah, we're definitely progressing into the mid game. It feels like.
Yeah, we have our own base now instead of the starter base, and
starting to get you make jokes about survival games all the time. It's like you gotta do the thing to progress enough to unlock the new thing that lets you do the thing better.
Yeah,
and then rinse repeat. Do the thing, get the thing to do the thing better, more efficiently.
To get the other thing to do.
So we just got steel pickaxes, better than iron pickaxes.
Indeed. Now we got to figure out how to make bronze.
Now we got to get bronze. That's the next thing, and then we'll get bronze pickaxes, and that'll help it. Yeah. So, but it is the progression does feel pretty good because it wasn't just you found steel or you found coal and you made steel. We had to light the forge.
It was a cool mechanic. It was pretty sweet, and the cinematic was pretty dope too.
Yeah, right. It's like, you need a forge that's hot enough to burn steel. So we found a great forge left over, from the dwarves and the elves, and so we had to fix it. And then a bunch of orcs came and attacked us, and then we unlocked steel. And
then I died.
You did die. I was so close to the end.
It was what, 2 orcs
there were
left?
2 orcs, and with a bow, you just I got him. And
and I was fighting one, and then I got shot in the back by an arrow, and I died. I was like, seriously?
And then the orcs were like, oh no, and they all ran away.
And I was like, what?
We got him.
Literally 3 seconds left.
Yeah. That was funny. It was like, well, lit the forge, got steel. Good luck, Steven. Sorry, man. Casualty.
Casualty of war.
But it's pretty good. Pretty fun Minecraft-esque Valheim clone.
Very much Valheim clone.
It's a survival pseudo open world, but not really.
It's pretty linear.
It's relatively linear, but there's at least openness.
There is.
The resource nodes and enemies.
Yeah. It's very much a closed world. I mean, you're just in the mines, right? You can't, and you can't just dig a tunnel that way forever.
Yeah, you're not fast traveling. You're not teleporting anywhere. It's just you're in the mines.
Yeah. So I've enjoyed it thoroughly so far.
Yeah,
it's a good time. So
definitely fun.
Recommend.
Good co-op game.
Yeah, for sure.
Good survival co-op.
For sure. Very good. Very good.
Mines of Moria.
Mines of Moria.
And you got to speak like a dwarf the whole time.
Yep, Yep. You've been watching any TV shows lately?
I have. I just started a couple days ago. Squid Game season 2.
So I watched. I don't think I finished season 1.
Oh, okay.
I didn't love it.
You didn't love it?
I know it's I didn't find the show to be a bad show.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I didn't get it.
Okay.
It wasn't for me.
I think it's one of those things for me. I liked it when I watched it, but I don't like. This is gonna make me sound like hipster or whatever, but I don't like. I don't know, the fans. I don't like when it becomes popular.
Sure.
I think the whole premise of the show is really good at the shock value, the suspense. It keeps you on the edge of your seat when you don't know what's going to happen next. And I don't know, I feel like it almost seems counterintuitive, but season 1 got so popular, they delayed season 2 a few times, and it's I don't know, it's almost too popular now. Everyone's talking about it. It's no, I think it really is enjoyed the most just like sitting there watching it yourself, just like, oh man, what is going to happen? Because it does. It is. I think they capture suspense pretty well in that show. In season 2, for me, jumping in partially to my review on that, is doing a pretty good job of capturing that as well. Again,
Sure.
of like, yeah, this is suspenseful. Like, I want to know what happens next, and it is like, oh, get your heart pumping a little bit. Like, all right, what's going to go on? It's very intense. So, I've enjoyed season 2 so far. I've watched a review, and that's what reminded me season 2 came out. Watched a review that said by the end it had a couple flaws, and I'm like, oh man, I'm a couple episodes in, and I like the main character story and kind of what's going on there. But I based on the reviews I've watched, I'm worried that like they say, oh, there's too many characters, and so that's part of why it kind of falls apart at the end. And then at the very end, it's like a cliffhanger. It almost seems like they wrote one season and split it into 2.
Oh.
And just stretched it out.
But I think I saw that they were going to announce a season 3 here soon. So
yeah, not surprising if, again, I've heard the story is a cliffhanger at the end.
Yeah.
Season 1 you could have watched as like a full and complete story,
Yeah.
and it was over.
Yeah, I didn't finish season 1, and there was like, it was intriguing enough where I was like, I wish this was like a 2-hour movie instead of a 7-8 hour TV show.
Yeah, episodic.
Yeah. Like most of the time I like TV shows more because like the stories are intriguing enough, but like this one I was like, I just wish that it was 2 hours.
Yeah.
2.5 hours.
No, I see what you mean. They definitely over dramatize it.
Yeah.
At some points.
I have nothing bad to say about like the acting or like the social commentary or anything like that about it.
Like acting.
It just didn't catch me as much as it caught the rest of the world.
Yeah.
You know?
It was also a different time. We were all locked inside.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nothing else to watch.
Yeah. That's true. But you're gonna finish that and
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, I'm worried I might not like it as much, but at least at the beginning it's cool. I'm enjoying, like I said, the protagonist. I find his story compelling, and the actor I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Without spoiling anything of season 1, I mean, the protagonist wins. He gets out, and so now in season 2, he's like,
if you haven't seen it yet, are you gonna watch it?
It's been like 3 years, but in season 2, he's like trying to shut down the Squid Games.
Cool.
So the first couple episodes, he's like on the outside, and he's super rich because he won. So he's like trying to hunt them down, and he's got like infinite resources at his disposal, which is cool. And he's just like on the hunt for them to like get his revenge or whatever. He's like, he feels like the weight, right, of having won, but he knows that they're still putting it on.
But there was like 700 people that died.
Yeah, and they're doing it again, and they're still killing people, and he's like, you guys need to shut this down. So it's cool. I like his like the revenge story.
Sure.
And then like it was kind of in the trailers for season 2, but he ends up back in the games.
Sure.
So that's the one of like, man, they broke their own rules. They gotta pay for this because they're the bad guys of that show. Their whole premise is like, no, everyone chose to come here voluntarily, but it was kind of against their will. But in this one, they just straight up kidnap him and throw him in the games. Like, no, that was actually against his will. Like,
yeah,
you guys gotta pay.
Yeah.
So,
well,
it's cool. It's, again,
at the end of the first season, do you learn who the Cabal is?
Kind of.
A little bit, yeah.
You find the creator of the games, but like that's not enough because the creator of the games ends up dying. But then the main character finds out they're still going on. He's
sure.
Like, okay, I thought it would be done, but no, somebody else is taking it up. So
all the fox masks and things like that.
Yeah. Nice. All the rich CEOs, the audience.
Yeah.
It's good. It's gripping so far.
Yeah. I've been watching. I just started the new Dune series on HBO Max.
Yeah,
Prophecies.
Dune
Prophecy. Prophecies or prophecy? I don't remember. Prophetesses. Prophetitties. No. And I was apprehensive at first because I was, the Dune movies in my opinion are fantastic, and I love the book, and the whole universe is amazing in my opinion.
And then this was a prequel.
But like not just like a prequel, but like 20,200 years before Paul Atreides was born.
Very prequel.
Right? Like this is right after the war against the machines, the thinking machines, right? And so it's like
AI war.
Which is like the foundation of the universe that they live in, is that there was this big AI war.
Yeah.
Right.
That's like start tracking time from there. Year 1 since the war.
Yep. Yeah.
Cataclysmic.
So it's about, I think it takes place, the main story now is 100 years after the war. So we're on the third emperor, basically.
Okay. I'll preface before you give your thing. I saw like half the first episode.
Oh, sure.
So I saw some of the backstory.
Let me just say, I'm on episode. I just finished episode 5.
Okay, which is like 8 episode season.
Yeah, so I'm over halfway through.
That's a new thing.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb, but anyway. But 9.8 out of 10 would recommend.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's super solid.
All right.
I think the actors and actresses, mostly actresses, if we're being honest, right? Yep. There are actors. It's not. It's about the Bene Gesserit, right?
They have Ben Kingsley is the emperor.
Yep. And what's his name? Travis Flamel, who played Ragnar Lothbrok in the Vikings TV show for 6 seasons or whatever it was.
Yeah.
He's another main character.
All right. And then after that, it's basically all women. Yeah.
There's the Emperor's son, who's there's non-women characters who are who exist and are important.
That was so PC of you. Non-women characters.
Oh, well, there's male characters. Sorry.
So funny.
Well, we were talking about.
We were thinking about like the reverse.
Yeah.
Not women. Yeah.
Yeah. There are male and female characters in the show, right? It's not just like, and I found it really nice that there doesn't seem to be a whole lot of, we're doing this because we're women.
No.
There was none of that. At least so far, there hasn't been any of that.
So it's not what the story's about.
No, it's really been quite, I mean, they talk about like, the sisterhood above all, but it's like, well, that's just like the cultish aspect of, like, that's fine.
It's a witch's coven. Basically.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
of course.
Yes. Right. But yeah, I would highly recommend the show. I've enjoyed it thoroughly. It's a bit of it's not as fast paced. It's much more of like a spy drama almost.
Yeah.
Where it's like, and like a political type thing where it's like the politics play a very important role. There's a lot of action in there as well, right? Like there is some sword fighting and things like that. And like you get some knife fights and you watch them training and stuff like that, whatever. But, the politics side of it, where it's like the Bene Gesserit is trying to fall out of, or is trying to gain favor, because it's like, the main character of the show is the second Mother Superior of the Bene Gesserit.
Yeah.
They don't even call it the Bene Gesserit in the show. They call it the Sisterhood.
The Sisterhood
hasn't been named the Bene Gesserit yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's like the second one after the founding member of the group, and so
they don't even all have magic powers yet.
No, they don't.
Got it.
She's got some other ones.
Couple
other ones have some other ones. It's kind of very, that's part of the ploy of the Bene Gesserit. There's the sisterhood idea is like, humanity is still evolving, and we're trying to like coax that evolution to be more impressive,
rebuilding after the war, the cataclysm. Yeah.
So it's a very cool show. It's a very cool show.
Okay.
I would suggest the first episode I was like apprehensive. The second episode I was hooked.
Yeah, okay, because I broke my rule, and it's one of those things where I forgot to go back to it, honestly. But usually this is my rule with like anime from a long time ago. Like I can give a show like 2 hours.
Yeah.
For like most normal shows, it's 2 episodes. For anime, it's like sometimes you really need like 4 or 5 episodes for an anime to really hit a stride and get going. Those are 20-minute episodes. So I did break my rule. I saw, I think, most of episode 1, and I was like, this is kind of boring. And then I forgot about it and just haven't gone.
It was just, so episode 1, I will say, is, this is with a lot of shows, though. You got to get through the exposition. Dump. Yep. And it's like, okay, this is the background of the story. Like, and for this show, I think it was necessary for them to do that, because it's like, there's so much, is way different than like the Dune universe, right? Because it's 10,000 years before that,
10,000
right?
years, yeah.
So it's like, geez.
It's going to be very different, yeah.
Yeah. But and I really have enjoyed it thoroughly.
Okay.
And they explain things well enough where it's like, oh, okay, yeah, fair. Oh,
Yeah, right. I will have to give that another try then, because yeah, that like first half of episode 1 was like schoolgirls, and I was like, oh, this isn't really that interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because it was even a flashback to the main character, so 10,010 years before, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, you see, oh, she's growing up. She's learning to join the sisterhood. I was like, all right.
But
I know it was brief, and again, I got to give it like 2 hours for it to hit its stride.
Yeah, and honestly, I've been very impressed with how they've portrayed the motives behind all the different characters, and like there was a couple like points of like backstory for other characters where you're like, this is kind of dumb. What's going on here? Like what is this? And then something happens. You're like, oh, okay. Yikes. Like shock factor 1,000, you know? So I would highly recommend the show.
Dune Prophecies.
Parentheses S.
Maybe. It's that one Dune show.
On HBO.
I was only a little sad because I'm sure the show is great, and I'll probably end up watching it, but you get even a little glimpse of like the AI war. I'm like, oh, wouldn't that make a great TV show too? Like,
it would.
I'd love to watch that one as well, maybe over this one, but I'm sure this one's good. But
no, I think the AI war would be a sick show.
That would be a really cool TV show. They only see a couple clips in a flashback. I'm like, that looks pretty awesome.
Yeah,
like,
well,
the Matrix style, like robot war.
Yeah, but they have like the blue glow about them, and like they almost look like at least in that one scene, it looked like the not the dreadnoughts, but like the Titans from Warhammer.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe it is like more dreadnoughty. I don't know. Anyway,
big tower.
Yeah, like you know.
Yeah, it looks sick.
Looks sick.
I would watch that show in a heartbeat. This one, I need a little more convincing.
They show a little bit more of that.
It is a spy drama, so
yeah.
It is.
I don't know. It's more like political. Like there's like it's a good combination of different shows. There's action. Yeah. There's like spying type, like sneaky stuff. There's political aspects where they're like, you know, the intermingling of not in like a modern politics sense, but like you know, the world's politics.
Yep.
Trying to like, ooh, well, this house is a lower house, so but if we get them onto this council, we can like convince them to do this thing that we want them to do.
Everyone's vying for power. Yeah, and then you have the drama, the character relations.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, I highly recommend the show. It tickles all my likes and you know, whatever. So
checks the boxes
for me.
Okay.
And then there's like the scenes where it's like just these super sick soldiers just marching and like slashing and hacking people, and you're like, this is sick.
The Dune universe is pretty good for that.
Yeah. And like pretty cool sci-fi. The Emperor puts together this like elite battalion of soldiers, and they're like marching with their swords, and you're like, oh,
nice. That's pretty rad.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a good show.
That's cool.
Alrighty, what else we got here, Trevor?
Man, there is
we got like political news. We got the LA fires. We got car bombings. We got new League of Legends show announcements. Did you see that?
I did not actually. Tell me about that one.
What do they call it? Shoot, I was hoping you would know that. They released a trailer for a new Arcane Universe show. It's not called Noxus. It's called something.
Zon, Piltover, kind of the three places we didn't go to Noxus, to be fair, but
it might be Noxus then.
The ones we already heard about.
All right, let me look this up real quick.
There's wherever the Yordles come from, they'll never turn that into a TV show. There's like the pirate place, Bilgewater, I think. Pulling on all my vast League of Legends lore knowledge.
Three here. This is what I saw. Arcane coming to an end. Okay, block notifications. Deny cookies.
Deny cookies. Yep.
And then of course, read full article. Okay.
Pay $1 a month.
Yeah, for real. Wait, this one doesn't tell me
the new. I mean, I heard they wanted to do more, but
yeah,
Arcane cost a lot of money, so
it did indeed.
They were like apprehensive because they needed it to basically do as well as Arcane.
Noxus. It is Noxus.
It's just called Noxus.
Welcome to Noxus.
Welcome to Noxus. Okay.
So
interesting.
Anyway.
They got some good characters from Noxus.
Yeah.
In the games they can do, so
that'll be I saw the trailer and I think it was like a teaser like 30 seconds long of just like it didn't have a release date or anything like that. It was just like doo-doo.
It's coming.
Yeah.
Probably following the hype from Arcane season 2.
Yeah.
Fair.
So yeah, there's that.
That's fascinating. All right.
That was a solid segment there.
Keep an eye out
even
for that
thinking
one.
You would know more about that. Not
no, not at all.
I saw 25 seconds of the 30-second trailer. I said, Trevor will see this too.
Surely. Keeping with the random trailers, Borderlands 4.
Yeah, I saw that.
You saw that trailer?
Yeah. Looked all right.
Looks all right. And then I saw one article this week where the head writer was like, don't worry, we're going to turn down the potty humor because a lot of people complained about that in Borderlands 3. I'm like, thank you. Feels like every other line from an NPC was a poop joke in that game. Like literal poop jokes. And I'm like, okay, guys, come on. Like,
sure.
Every now and then I get it, haha, poop, that's funny, but it was way too much.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
maybe they're going for like The Office, like the TV show The Office type vibe where it's like, it's funny for like 3 seconds and then it's not. Yeah. And then it becomes funny again.
It becomes funny.
Because it's like so long of like.
Keep doing it.
Yeah. I hate that type of humor personally.
Yeah, me too.
If it's funny for like 3 seconds and then not funny, it's just going to stay not funny for me.
Yeah. Like don't keep repeating it. Yeah. So, that seems fine. I'll probably play it, I guess. They showed off the 4 like playable characters and they looked kind of meh, but there was at least like one guy who looked kind of like a Viking. I'm like, all right, I guess maybe I'd play him. Woo.
Yeah.
What else? Reacher season 3 had a trailer.
I saw that.
You saw that one?
I didn't see the trailer. I saw that there was a season 3 announced.
The announcement of the trailer.
Yeah. I just see like these random like snippets. I'm like, very cool. Next.
Cool. Next. It's too much information for me.
Yeah. And I've been really deep diving into certain things right now, so it's like hard for me to like do the rest of. Been really into guns right now.
Time is limited, so you gotta.
Yeah.
That looks fine. I saw the trailer. They found a dude who's bigger than Alan Richson, whoever plays Alan something. They found an antagonist who's like bigger than him, and so in the trailer he looks pretty imposing. I'm like, that might be fun. That sounds like that'll be a fun premise. But I'll enjoy that one when it comes out. I'm sure sometime in 2025.
Yeah, I didn't realize that he is such a good like diversity actor.
Oh yeah.
Because he did, he does Reacher, who's a very serious, like stoic,
good guy.
Yeah,
ex-Marine.
And then he did the Swedish guy in Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare.
Yes, yeah.
And he was like a little bit like flamboyant to a point, right? And he's like, yes, and then just walked up and shot people with arrows and just walked around like a kind of like a doofus,
kind of goofy.
Yeah, and you're like, I thought he did a very good job at portraying both of those characters.
That's funny, yeah. I've seen a clip of him from some movie before he did Reacher, where he was like a college football jock too.
Blue Water State.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's a very funny TV show.
Okay, yeah. So he does comedy too, kind of.
Yeah, yeah. He was young in those though. He was 20.
You can tell he's still built, but
but not as built as he is now.
No,
yeah.
Definitely
He played the quarterback, Thad or something like that. It was his name.
It's a ridiculous name.
It's that TV show is very raunchy but very funny.
Gotcha.
It's worth a watch.
Yeah, all right.
It's if
nothing else, because you're like, that's young Reacher.
Yeah, and the characters in it are it's funny. It's very funny.
Yeah.
I forgot about that show. I watched it during high school. It's an older show.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
like 2012, I want to say, is when it started coming out. And they did a few seasons of it. But yeah, that's a solid show.
He's a good actor. I enjoy what he's in. So
Yeah.
I've seen a couple interviews. I like his interviews because he's like, yeah, I'm a pretty devout Christian in Hollywood, so that's always tough. I'm like,
Yeah.
I like hearing his perspective. It's a cool guy.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot more of them like coming out of the woodwork now, like good guy actors.
Yeah, I heard a joke from a comedian this week because Denzel Washington, I think, came out, and he's like, he became a pastor or whatever.
Oh, that's funny.
And so he's like, oh yeah, so I'm a Christian in Hollywood. Whoop-a-doop. So the joke I heard from a comedian was like, yes, so now with Denzel Washington being a pastor, we have 3 Christians in Hollywood. He's like, yeah, Chris Pratt and I forget who else he named.
Henry Cavill.
Yeah, probably some other big name like
Not Henry Cavill. Caviezel.
Oh, Jim Caviezel. Yeah,
Yes.
Jim Caviezel.
Not him.
And now Denzel Washington. There you go. We have all 3 Christians in all of Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's pretty accurate.
No, Mark Wahlberg.
Oh, Mark Wahlberg. Yes,
He's super devout Catholic.
That was actually the one they said. Yes.
Yeah. He does the whole Ash Wednesday thing every year
Oh yeah,
with the ash cross on your head every morning or whatever.
for the whole month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on? Let me pull out my list of things.
Yeah.
The LA fires. Do you have any thoughts?
I mean, some of the images coming out are pretty metal.
That's very true.
Like, it's the,
Like you see the Hollywood sign?
yeah, the Hollywood with the fire behind
Yeah,
it.
it was pretty dope.
That was pretty cool.
Like there's a lot of album covers coming out.
yeah, dude, you could have told me that was like an artist did that. Like, but no, that's, and then like the I think it was like dawn, and so there was like the sun was coming up, but then there was also fire, and there's like the LA skyline.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, that looked pretty cool. It's sad that, like, fires, people are losing their homes and stuff.
Yeah, I feel bad. I
don't personally know anyone there, so I don't feel like a connection to these fires. Sure. But that does suck, yeah.
I feel bad for people, just like I feel bad for like people that have their house washed away for like hurricanes, right, in like Florida.
People living in places prone to natural disasters is like, well, that sucks. The
people in Florida, it's like, ugh, that sucks. But like you kind of get that when you sign up for it, right? Yeah. In California, it's a little bit different because most of these fires are like politically based fires, effectively, right? Like, sure, based off of like stupid choices. Because there is really easy ways like where policy can help mitigate that. Well, and even like the people voted on certain things that would have helped them prevent these fires, and the governor just didn't do them. Just didn't do it. And so it's like, well, and the mayor and the fire department chiefs and everything. There's a lot of things. There's a lot to blame. Whereas like when a hurricane rolls through, it's like, you can't stop a hurricane or slow a hurricane down. All you can do is provide aid afterwards. Mm-hmm. With a fire, you might not be able to stop everyone, but you can stop a lot of them, and you can definitely slow them down. Yeah, and it feels bad about like the government putting a cap on insurance companies for fire insurance, and so that the insurance companies are like, well, then we're just not going to cover you for that. Yeah, I heard about conspiracies. Well, there's always conspiracies that fly around, but yeah, it felt. I feel bad for the people there. The people, yeah. But at the same time, it's like, this is the government's fault. Like, this one is like, very clearly the government's fault for how bad it has gotten. How bad it's been managed, yeah. Like, I just heard yesterday, I think on the news, like, another fire started. You're like, well, another problem is that there's people of a certain ethnic background that is not Mexico. Sure. That are starting more fires in the city. The Irish. It's always the Irish. Sorry, no. That's car bombs. Never mind. Yeah, come on, Trevor. Totally different. Come on, Trevor. You can't blame the Irish for arson. No. Explosions, yes. But yeah, explosions, 100%. No. That is unfortunate, yeah. Yeah, so there's been like a ton of people arrested for arson. Yeah. Which is like, seriously, people? You're like trying to take advantage of the kids. And then a lot of people for looting. It's something I've been like thinking about since COVID, but like, what happened to the social contract? Like, what? I will tell you off air, what I think about that.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Because I don't want to get canceled that much.
I know.
And this is a very hot take.
Yeah. All right. We can pause that one for later. But I want to inspire our viewers to think about that.
Yeah, for real.
Happened to the social contract. There is a contract when I walk out of this door into the public world. And it's a lot of things, and that's just the way society works. I can't walk out of that door naked. That is the social contract. I can't go be a doofus at the grocery store. Yeah.
Indeed.
And I've just seen more and more stupidity. I don't know if it's just because it's online and social media and you see more of it and it was always happening, or there is just actually more people just being doofuses.
There's a lot of things.
Well, we can talk about it. Get your thing.
We can talk about it on the 40-minute drive to Caleb's house.
Yeah, probably in the middle of nowhere.
It's actually not in the middle of nowhere. Caleb lied. Caleb, I know you're watching this. You lied. It's not in the middle of nowhere. It's out there, but
it's on the edge of nowhere.
There's stuff out there.
Yeah. This is totally random and it's not at all relevant to the global audience. But Queen Creek 10 years ago
was the middle of nowhere.
And would have been kind of cool. Now there's a lot of things and there's a lot of cars there. There's so much people, but the roads didn't get bigger.
No.
So there's just traffic all the time when you go out there. It's on 2-lane roads and there's so many people out there. It blows my mind.
Yeah.
Urbanization. I hate it.
Well, it's not just urbanization, which sure, but it's poor planning on the part of the city's planners, right?
The county,
it's yes, this city that is on the edge of the whole metro area, it'll never grow bigger than three people.
We're expanding out to it,
and so they build a main road that's 1 lane one way, 1 lane the other way with no middle lane, and then they build houses 3 feet from that road.
Yeah, just right
and
there.
And it's Kate, you couldn't have had the foresight to be this might need to be a 6-lane road at some point.
But we already built houses here, and the supermarket had to go right there. And
it's silly.
Yeah,
it's silly. Northern Scottsdale is like that too.
Oh yeah.
It really is.
On the other side of the freeway.
Yeah,
that makes sense. Yeah, they're the freeway. That's the edge of the reservation on the east side, and so we'll just assume on the north side too. But we're expanding on the north side. So
very much. Yeah. It's a little bit better because the house lots are so big there that there's less cars, but it's still just 1-lane road, or 2-lane roads the entire way, or 3-lane roads, right?
So then just the population density just drives me crazy.
Yeah.
I live in the suburbs because I hate crowds. I don't like a lot of people.
Dude, I'm seriously considering just moving out to the middle of BFE.
To actually nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Florence.
But eventually, maybe in your lifetime,
I bet it does.
Yeah, it expands.
I bet it does.
Phoenix is kind of a cool anomaly in that way. Phoenix, Arizona. Because, we're one of the newer big cities in America. Mm-hmm. We've only been an urban center since, the 50s or 60s.
I think even later than that, probably.
Yeah. And so we are kind of hitting that, urbanization boom later than Detroit, or
LA.
LA, New York,
Yeah.
New York has always been tiny, but maybe a bad example.
It's an island.
Yeah. So
a couple islands, I guess, but
a lot of the California cities started out very similar like this, where you just here's the one big city on the coast, and then all the little suburbs, and then now they've just expanded and absorbed everything.
Yeah,
Phoenix, we're kind of seeing that happen in our lifetime, which is cool.
It's very interesting. Everyone was always oh well, in New York you can only build up, and in Chicago you can only build up, but in Phoenix you can build out and spread out. And I'm well, to a point. We're in a valley. There are mountains everywhere. Yeah, exactly. And on the northern side, up the 17, we've reached the mountains.
Yeah.
We were on the South Mountain, the mountain called South Mountain on the south side of the valley has been reached.
And then we build around it.
Well, they started doing there's houses on the other side. Is that Ahwatukee?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember. Anyway,
but we will hit mountains. You're right.
It's very funny.
Yeah.
I guess we just build over the mountains.
Just over?
But then on this side, just above Mesa is national forest.
Yeah, exactly. You hit natural lines you can't hit at the reservation or natural forest.
The Tonto Forest is right there.
You're not gonna hit that.
You're
not gonna build on the rim, as you're climbing up the rim, that road up there. Yeah, no way.
Zero chance. Yeah, up the beeline. There's no way you can build up that thing. There's no way. That thing is the steepest road. I'm surprised that any cars get up that road.
I know, right? Every time I'm driving up there, I'm like, it is cool. I like living where we live because you can drive an hour north and it's like feels like a different climate because of how steep.
Because it is a different climate, Trevor.
I know. You're like, we're here in the desert, and then you're just in the mountains.
And it's an hour north, but it's straight up.
Yeah.
You just literally drive straight up.
And then like an hour past that, you're at the Grand Canyon.
I'll bet you that there's like tow companies that all they do is travel that road up and down,
just
because
back and forth.
every time I drive it, there's probably 7 to 10 cars broken down in an hour-long drive. 7 cars broken down in there. It's crazy
because there are several signs that's like, hey, you got a 7% incline around this corner.
Turn your AC off.
Use lower gears if you're a big truck.
Yeah, like, it's crazy.
Yeah,
but
there's still people zooming by at like 90. I'm like, okay, man.
I even if I were in like a sports car that could do it, like those are like some like curvy roads, and it's like if you're coming down, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a mountain on one side, like the upside of a mountain on one side, and then more road on the other. Yeah. But like if you're going up at 80 miles an hour, it's like that side is like there's nothing.
It's just cliff.
It's just the vast emptiness of space.
There's no barrier, no nothing. Like,
and there's like a 2 or 3 foot like berm,
like,
and then it's like
yeah. I'm surprised I don't see more cars just down there. But I guess
the problem is you can't see them.
The tow company's already pulled them out. Yeah,
like you just can't see down there far enough to like see, like it is steep and deep. Yeah. Like it's crazy.
Pretty fun.
Very nice.
It's cool, but
very cool. Just funny though.
Yeah,
just funny.
Well, for Magic the Gathering news, are you excited for Innistrad Remastered? We gave a teaser, I think, in our last episode.
I think we did. It's come out now, though, right? Like
it's coming out this week.
They released teasers at least enough to like show people the new cards.
It's a remastered set, so it's all reprints.
But the art, I mean, right?
Yeah, the art has come out. They do pretty quick spoiler seasons for remastered sets.
Sure.
So I think it's either out this weekend or next. The exciting thing now that we play a new format, Pauper, remastered sets are for us too, because sometimes they downshift cards to common.
Yes.
Which is always cool to like be thinking of that.
Did anyone get downshifted that is substantial? I didn't see anything.
There is a couple.
To be fair, I wasn't paying that much attention to this one.
Yeah. Give me 20 seconds. There was a cool one.
1, 2.
He's counting.
3.
Was it
4? 5.
Oh my goodness, I don't remember. All right, MTG.
You're at 10.
I know. Wait, I know how. When in doubt, Reddit. It's actually terrible advice, but quick, Steven, talk about your favorite Magic creature type.
My favorite Magic creature type?
Yeah.
Either Hydra or Tyrannid. Because big X creature.
Because Tyranids, obviously.
That's probably true.
Here we go. The Village Messenger. Thank you. I found him. So this guy's he's a 1-mana 1/1 with haste. Love it. It's a Raging Goblin. It's like the very first Magic 1/1 with haste. He's a human werewolf though, so he's got the dumb old werewolf mechanic. It's like at the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, you flip them. And then on the werewolf side, if 2 spells were cast last turn, 2 or more, you flip them back to the weak side, the human side. So he's a 1/1 with haste, and then on the back side, he's a 2/2 with menace for 1 red mana. Like, oh, all right.
Not bad.
Yeah, some aggressive. You can do some werewolf shenanigans. Being a human is a pretty relevant tribe in Pauper. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. The other cool one I liked downshifted is may or may not see play in Pauper because it runs into the problem of it's removal that's like too good in other formats, because it's like, oh, this is removal that you save for like the really big things. Mm-hmm. Whereas in Pauper, it's just a bunch of dinky commons, so there's nothing really that's that big. But it's
unless you play a hot dogs deck, and one shot someone on turn 3.
That is fair. This is Imprisoned in the Moon. Is a common removal. It's really good in Commander.
Chant is colorless land. Oh yeah, very cool. Yeah,
enchant creature, land, or planeswalker,
Yep.
and then you turn it into just
A colorless land with tap, add 1 colorless, and
Yeah.
loses all other card types and abilities.
Yep.
Ooh, the card type thing is nice.
Yeah.
That's a good little addition.
So it's good. Again, usually in Commander, and it used to be an uncommon before this. You could have played it in Commander easily, but it just nullifies their thing, anything, creature, land, or planeswalker, most anything, and just turns it into a dinky, colorless land. So
Yeah.
you do ramp them is the downside, but it's colorless. Woo. But it's 3 mana, and so in Pauper, it's like, okay, it only hits creatures because there's no planeswalkers in Pauper. Lands, there's not really any dangerous lands in Pauper either.
Yeah.
You're not hitting a Gaia's Cradle.
Yeah.
So you're only hitting creatures. And any creatures in Pauper,
Yeah.
there's some that this would be good for. Specifically anything that like
dinosaurs.
Yeah, really big things or anything that you don't want to die. Anything that has like dice triggers. There's a decent amount of those. This one just like neuters their creature.
It's like a dome over the creature.
Yeah.
Like, no.
You can't do anything.
Yeah.
But you're effectively removed. So and it's got enchantment synergy, which is cool. In blue, there's definitely some viability there. So I've seen some people online like, okay, what can we do with this? But maybe the general consensus of like 3 mana for kind of a not as good removal in Pauper. It's an interesting scenario where maybe that's not as good. But I like Pauper because anytime you see a new common, you're like, oh, you can get excited of like, maybe this will work.
Yeah.
And even if it's not like the top Pauper deck, it's still probably playable. Still probably pretty good because it's just a bunch of commons.
Yeah, for sure.
Difference between like the top Pauper deck and like a random pile of commons you threw together is not as wide as other formats.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the top Legacy deck would just destroy anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Any random pile of cards. So
yeah. That's very cool.
Imprisoned in the Moon.
That's very cool. Well, I've got a card of the week if you wanted to do that real quick.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
I pulled one up this morning because I was thinking, I don't know whose week it is.
Yeah, so we'll just start it up.
I'll just figured I would throw one up here and
restart the cycle.
Yeah, exactly. It's one that I just like the name of them, and then the effects are like pretty decent.
Okay.
So like,
Rampaging Badger.
No, it's from 2020. It's from the set that I didn't get a picture. Okay, let me pull it up on Gather.
Nest.
No.
I'm trying to think of fun names that you would like.
It is from the... What set is this from?
Man.
Ikoria Commander.
Oh, so it's a dinosaur.
It is not a dinosaur.
Oh, okay. It's some big beast.
It's a human druid.
What? You picked the most boring creature for Ikoria? Oh, man. It's the dinosaur whisperer.
Nope.
Okay.
She's got a little so he's got a little friend. I like the art a lot.
Oh, Slippery Bogbonder.
It is Slippery Bogbonder. Yeah.
She's got
the little Oompa Loompa thing.
It's like this. You're the Bogbonder, so I guess that's the bog? Because she's the druid? I don't know.
I don't know
what that creature is, but it looks cool.
Yeah. Slippery Bogbonder. 4 mana, 3 in a green, 3 colorless in a green for a 3/3. Meh, whatever.
Yeah.
Flash.
Flash is good.
Hexproof.
Also
native
good.
Hexproof. I thought this was a cool ability, and I hadn't heard of this one. When Slippery Bogbonder enters the battlefield, so it has flash, so you can just do whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Put a Hexproof counter on target creature, then move any number of counters from among creatures you control onto that creature.
Yeah, it's dual purpose there, which is nice.
Like, in my mind, my thought is like, my ideal situation for this card is like, I swing, my opponent has 2 creatures that are like 2/1s, and I have 2 big stompy, like, no trample because green apparently.
The Tyranid precon deck.
But like, I have like a 20/20 and a 10/10 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like a 2/2 mana dork. And you swing with everything.
Yeah.
They're obviously going to try and block the
things.
And then you say, but, and then you flash this in, hexproof counter, and all of the counters on those guys, honk,
slide on over.
And then just hit them for 30 damage.
Yeah, right. It does feel cool in a scenario of like, especially if they're Hydras, so they're like 0/0s.
Yeah.
So when you move the counters, they die.
Yeah.
You turn into like a And you got this like Exodia type thing. You're like, I summoned the ultimate Hydra, and the Bogvander like absorbs all the other ones. This giant 84.
Mm-hmm.
All right, the flavors, pretty cool. I can envision that in like I'm a planeswalker in the Magic universe.
Mm-hmm.
Summon the ultimate Hydra.
Yeah. So, and that's my
and then hexproof.
And then hexproof. Yeah. You make the big thing hexproof. It's like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
There's no downsides to this card.
It's in green. That means you have to eat crayon.
See this crayon? Oh, eat it.
That's the downside.
I say this every time, but I felt personally attacked by that stupid meme.
And validated.
Yes, at the same time.
That's Slippery Bogvander. Nice card.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw that one this morning and I was like, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it a lot. So I'll probably try to, with the next green deck that I build.
Inevitable.
I feel like every one of my decks just has to have green.
Yeah.
Like, I think all my decks do except for my Dimir deck.
Yeah.
And my spirits.
Oh,
that's Azorius.
Blue-white. There's a precon you bought, yeah. Azorius,
yeah. I'm getting there. I'm learning the colors combinations.
Wait till you learn Jund. Now you probably know Jund. Who did all challenge?
Jund, Bant. There's a couple others that I thought I knew. But
we're going back to Tarkir this year or next year, I think. So you learn those 5 again, the 5/3 color ones from there. Anyway.
Then there's names for the 4-color ones that I saw the other day. But
yeah, those are ones that are like less decided upon, but they do technically have names. I just call them like non-white.
Sure.
It's easier than remembering the 4 colors. You just remember the color that they aren't.
Yeah.
Non-white, non-blue.
And then I saw a name for Wooburg that's not Wooburg.
Oh, yeah?
It's, what was it called? Something else. I don't remember. Anyway.
Interesting.
And then mono blue is pussies.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Probably need to bleep that word out.
Catwords.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if YouTube likes that word, but
I don't care. Did you know?
You can't cancel us.
Do you know it's a shortening of the word pusillanimous?
I've heard of that, actually.
Yeah.
Which means like cowardly.
Cowardly and weak or something like that. Yeah. Cowardly and weak-willed, I believe.
It's just like one of those old English words that doesn't really get used anymore. So
that's where that derogatory word comes from. It doesn't actually refer to the female anatomy.
Yeah.
It's turned into that, but
you know.
Actually. Anyway. That is.
We'll have another segment on old British slurs.
Old British slurs.
And how they evolved.
Store high in transit.
Okay, all right. Well, then
fornication under consent of the king.
Yes.
Indeed.
Confirm. Okay, thank you for coming to this special sweater edition of the 5G Podcast.
Thank you for watching this week's episode of the 5G Podcast.
Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.
And we'll see you next time.
Thanks.